Okay, before we get into this, I just want to say, even though it feels like or really football's only been gone for about like 4 months, 5 months, or whatever it's been. Might even be 6 months. I don't remember. But it feels like it's been, like 3 years without it. Obviously we didn't have sports for 2.5, 3 months. Baseball, basketball, everything was put on hold. So it's just fun to have this back. It's fun to have football back, even though COVID never really affected it. Thank God. It might later down the stretch, but for now, I'm just happy we got a week 1. I'm just happy, we're here. It's finally here. We are 25 hours out, I think, from the start of the season. It's obviously Houston and KC Thursday night, and then we have all the games Sunday, and then we have 2 games on Monday. So I'm glad it's back. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I don't know how many weeks it's gonna last. I hope it lasts for the whole year. I hope we get all the way up to the Super Bowl, and then we're fine again after that. We'll see what happens again. I don't know, but I'm just really happy it's back. So to get right into it, Houston and Kansas City. I don't want to say it's a no-brainer to pick Kansas City, but it's without DeAndre Hopkins, I don't know how well Deshaun Watson is going to do. So we'll see. I don't know how well Houston's going to do, but it's, with this basically the same offense as last year for Kansas City, it's not, again, I don't want to call it a no-brainer because, Houston might have a chance depending on how well Deshaun Watson plays, but this is basically Kansas City's game to lose, so it's got to be them. Quick break before we get into the Sunday games. I am probably going to stream this Thursday night game just to get back into it, just to get that feeling of football back. So I probably will stream this tomorrow night, that game, and then obviously I'm going to try to stream Sunday for the Packers game. So now moving on to Sunday, Seattle heads to Atlanta. It's a coin flip which Atlanta team you're going to get. You're either going to get the Atlanta team that started out really bad last year, or you're going to get an Atlanta team that's going to go, really good into the playoffs. Probably get that first or second in their division. Get decently high in the playoff rankings. Sucks that now everyone except for this first seed has to play basically wild card weekend now. So that kind of sucks. But you don't know who you're going to get, so I got to go Seattle. Seattle obviously has their running game back. I don't know if Marshawn Lynch is back. I think he just did a 1-year thing. I think he's done again. But they still have Rashawn Penny and was it Chris Carson, I believe? I think it's something Carson. I don't remember. But anyway, they have, a couple running backs still, or again. So I just got to go, Russell's team, Seattle. Next, the Jets head to Buffalo. This is probably Buffalo's division now. I will have a video coming out on the my division rankings. AFC will probably be Friday, and then NFC will probably be Saturday. So I think this is really Buffalo's game to win. I think this is the division to win. We don't know what kind of Pats team we're going to get, so we'll see in these next couple of weeks how well they do. But I got Buffalo here. I got Buffalo taking the division too. Spoiler alert, but not too much because a lot of people do too. Next, Chicago heads to Detroit. If were not familiar with my predictions last year, blue indicates an upset. And then green is game of the week. Technically, if I did have a game of the week, it'd probably be Tampa Bay and New Orleans. That's about it. That's really for contenders for that. Everything else is just okay games, or the divisional games like Packers, Vikings. But I'm not going to put that as game of the week. I just feel like there's better games than that. So I don't have any game of the week this week. But if I did, it probably would be Tampa Bay and New Orleans. But back to what I was saying before. So blue indicates an upset. I got to go with Detroit here. It's in Detroit. I think they have a pretty solid squad. Again, they just got Adrian Peterson. So I think this is the Detroit's game to win. And I think they're, gonna run all over them. I think Adrian Peterson still has a lot left in the tank. So I'm gonna go Detroit because I think they have a good chance. I think they might actually make the playoffs now, with Adrian Peterson and all these additions, unless the refs screw them over. But we'll see what happens. But I got Detroit as the upset here. Next, Green Bay heads to Minnesota. I had to go Green Bay. All biased aside, I don't think we improved. I don't think we went down or got worse. Minnesota lost. I can't remember his name. And then they got Ngakwe. I'm butchering it, but they got him. And then I think Danielle Hunter is day to day. I think he's injured right now, but I think he's day to day. So we'll see what happens game one. But I got to go Packers. We did good against them last year. We were 2-0 against them last year. So I don't know how well we're going to play against them this year. But I think we're going to do just as good. Again, this is basically the same Packers squad as last year. You could say Christian Kirksey is an upgrade over Blake Martinez if you want. But we'll see how well he plays in his first game as a Packer. So I got to go Green Bay there. Next, again, this is first of a couple really hard games to pick. Miami heads to the Patriots. Again, this is a brand new Patriots-led squad by Cam Newton. They're not, as talented as they used to be. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I got the Patriots here, but I would not be shocked if Miami beats them here. So I don't know. We'll see. This is a new feeling for the Patriots. We don't know if. Well, they're obviously not as good as they used to be, but we'll see what happens. But I got them winning at least against Miami, but they're going to struggle down the road. Next, Philly. I got Washington with the upset here, strictly because of injuries. So about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, Carson Wentz got hurt in the practice squad, or in a practice game, excuse me. And I think he's better now. But Philly is like a glass cannon. Like, if they get hit hard enough, then they go down, and then they're just going to start tanking down, and they're going to probably end up going for a top 5 pick. But I just think, with Chase Young, I think they are heading in a better direction. Washington is still really weird to say Washington football team, but it is what it is. But, with Ron Rivera as head coach now, I think he's battling cancer or something as he's coaching too. So, good on him. Hopefully he beats it. Or it's cancer or COVID-19 or something like that he's battling right now. And he's still going to try to coach. So good for him. Hopefully he beats it. But I think, Washington is going to surprise some people. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I think they could go 6-10, 7-9. Really, I think they could split with probably the Cowboys. They could probably split with the Eagles, maybe even beat them twice. And then I think they could sweep the Giants. So I think this is going to be a really interesting team to watch. Them and the Lions are, honestly. So next is a typo on my part. I was as I was typing this up, I was thinking of Oakland. So it's actually the Raiders. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. I wrote O because I had Oakland in mind, and then I forgot, and then I just accidentally hit O instead of R. So it's the Raiders heading to Carolina. It's two. I don't even. They're okay teams. I got Carolina here. Not a lot to say. This one's kind of hard to pick too, just like Miami and the Patriots. But I think Christian McCaffrey is just going to lead them to a win there. Next, again, really. This one's kind of a no-brainer. With Jacksonville getting rid of everyone, you got to go Indy just because they're getting rid of everyone. Unless there's some magical thing happens, and they suddenly do good after getting rid of all these guys. I don't know what to tell you, but we'll see. But I got Indy here. Next, I think this could be a really good game. especially now that Cleveland has an actual head coach. So Cleveland heads to Baltimore. I do have the Ravens winning, but with an actual head coach, you don't have Reggie Kitchens anymore. I think they did decent in the draft. Decent offseason. You got Austin Hooper for a tight end. You got Myles Garrett back as long as he doesn't swing a helmet. So I mean, you got pieces back. You gain some new pieces in the offseason. This isn't no way it's gonna be a blowout, especially because again it's better coaching now. I think Baker Mayfield is gonna have a better year. A lot of people, have a sophomore slump, is what it's called. A lot of QBs did. I mean, look at Drew Brees. He had a sophomore slump in was it the Chargers, and then he went to New Orleans, and look at what he's done in New Orleans. I think I just think Baker Mayfield is going to come out, have a better year than last year. He's going to, he got past the sophomore slump, and I think that he's going to do really good with the Browns. But it's MVP Lamar. They still have all their weapons on offense too, basically. So I got Ravens, but this is going to be a really good game. This could be a fun game to watch. Next, the LA Chargers head to Cincinnati, led by Joe Burrow, number 1 overall pick, obviously. I mean, that offensive line for the Bengals isn't that good. So I got to go Chargers here, especially with Joey Bosa on the other side. And, obviously, Derwin James is out for the season. Sucks that happened to him. But, I mean, I think Chargers, there's a chance they could make the playoffs, honestly, with the squad they have. So we'll see what happens. But I got Chargers here. I just don't think Joe Burrow, is well-equipped enough to the NFL yet. I think that offensive line isn't, it's still not that good. So I got Chargers. Next, again, like I said before, this would technically be my game of the week, but I just didn't really think of putting one on here. Just because it's a okay week of the NFL. Nothing too big, shocking, no amazing games coming up. But Tampa Bay heads to New Orleans. I got New Orleans strictly because I think they're gonna win by probably a last-second field goal. Again, you have an old Brady, you have a Gronk who basically came out of retirement after doing wrestling for a year. Leonard Fournette. You got Leonard Fournette. Yeah, that backfield's pretty good. You have, hang on. Mike Evans is day-to-day, too. So, Mike Evans might not even be playing. You do have Godwin on the other side who's healthy. But, if Mike Evans doesn't play, that's not good for Tampa. But I think, New Orleans is going to probably sweep them here. It's going to be a really close game. It's probably going to be, 3-point game. Field goal is going to decide it at the end, honestly. I think is what's going to happen. But I got New Orleans there. Next, Arizona heads to San Francisco. So last year, if we ignore that dumb kickoff at the end of the game, it was a 3-point game both times against Arizona. San Francisco beat them by 3 points both times. Again, if you ignore that, there was 2 seconds on the clock. And someone fumbled or whatever on the kickoff. Technically, it was technically a 10-point game, but, it was basically a 3-point game. You had DeAndre Hopkins on that Arizona team. You had Isaiah Simmons on that team. Arizona's a sleeper pick. They are my sleeper pick for the Super Bowl, honestly. They are in the toughest division in the NFL right now. The NFC West. I think they have a chance to upset. Again, it was three points both games last year. It's going to be really good if Kyler Murray's second year. Obviously run rookie of the year last year. Second year under the Arizona offense. I think this is going to be a really good team. I still like Kenyon Drake. Glad he got out of Miami and is now being utilized somewhere else, and Arizona's really utilized him, especially during the 49ers games. So I would not be shocked if Arizona upsets San Francisco at home. I think it could happen, and I'm going to say it happened. So That is my third and final upset of the week. Moving on to Sunday night, Dallas heads to the SoFi for the Rams and the Chargers, brand new stadium. I believe it's SoFi. Debut of the stadium. We'll see what they do for the debut. But this is gonna be a fun game to watch. Mike McCarthy is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You still have a lot of really good pieces on that offense. I think Dak threw I forget how many yards. I think it was like 4,000 yards last year. So I don't remember. But he was like top 5 for most yards last year. And then Zeke had a pretty good year last year too. So I mean, I think Dallas is gonna win this. I don't have a ton of faith in the Rams, sadly, but I think there's a chance that, I think it's a really good chance that the Dallas, with their new head coach and whatnot, wins this game. So that is Sunday night. Now moving on to Monday night, we have a doubleheader, both on ESPN. Pittsburgh heads to Giants, New York Giants. This is Pittsburgh easily. I don't have a lot of faith in the Giants, honestly. A lot better than the Jets, but I just don't have as much faith, or just a little more faith in them than I do in the Jets. But they're still probably bottom of the barrel in their division. So I got Pittsburgh here pretty easily, even though Pittsburgh is middle of the road team right now too. So that's that. And then Tennessee heads to Denver. Now this one is going to be really interesting. So this is in Mile High. I mean, it's a lot different up there. And if you're not Denver, you're not used to that elevation. I do have Tennessee winning strictly because, again, last year they had, they went up to the AFC Championship. They just signed back Ryan Tannehill back. They signed Derrick Henry back. They got Jadeveon Clowney. So they're making moves in the offseason, keeping good pieces. Jadeveon Clowney's, is he top 5 in his position? Maybe. I'd have to do a lot more research into that. He might be top 5. I don't think it'd be top 3. But I think it's going to be a really interesting game. Obviously, Drew Lock, a lot of hope for him. I don't believe in the Broncos. I said this in my rankings video. I don't trust them. I had them low in my rankings, and I'm going to have them losing week 1. I think they might just go 7-9 and miss the playoffs. I don't have a lot of faith in them. I think they'll do better than the Raiders, but I think the Chargers and obviously the Chiefs are going to do better than them. So, but this is going to be, again, it's going to be interesting because it's in Mile High. So we'll see what happens. Because, again, Mile High is a whole different stadium to play in. It's, again, a mile above sea level. A lot harder to breathe if you're not used to it. It's difficulty. So that's going to wrap up my predictions. Again, tomorrow football comes back. We're about 25 hours out from that. Thank God. It feels like it's been 3 years. I'm so glad it's back. But I'm going to wrap up the video there. Tomorrow we'll probably stream the game throughout night. And then we'll have the playoff predictions for AFC and NFC Friday and Saturday. Sunday I'll probably stream the Packers game, and then I'll do something Monday. I might do something with my picks on Monday and just see how well I did, recap the games and whatnot. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Like the video, share the video around. Don't forget to subscribe. We are out of here. Peace.